So hello and a very good evening everyone. Today is 23rd of July 2024. As you can, the union budget was presented, and I have bought this video. I thought that I would be after our exams, but this union budget can be useful for some of you. So in the last few moments of our revision, at least we can go through the budget and we can add some beneficial data in our answer enrichment or for the content enrichment. Okay, so here I have bought this detailed video where you can go through this, and it will be, I hope it will be beneficial for you in your upcoming APSC mains exam, and on for UPSC who are preparing for UPSC mains exam, they can also watch this video. So as you can see here, when you talk about the budget, so budget comes with some just like things, okay, just like the budget speech. You can go through the budget speech of our finance minister in her in this ministry's website. You will get her budget, or in the PIB you can go through it. But what I focus more is on the annual financial statement, because already you might have gone through the economic video survey of 2023-24, and this is the budget of 2024-25. So the video is also available in the playlist which is related to GS3. You can go through it. Now let's begin. So this budget comes with a list of documents. First of all, you have to know this. Okay, so it comes with the budget speech. Then we have the annual financial statement, which is, we also call it a budget, but in our constitution it's written as the annual financial statement, so we use this word. Next, there are demands for grants. These are also presented. Then comes the finance bill. Then we have the under the FRBM Act, which is the and Budget Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2023. Actually, this act was originally brought in 2003. After that, there were many amendments, including in 2021 there was an amendment, and it was again brought in 2023. Okay, so according to the FRBM Act, now see, this is the important about the fiscal. If you talk about the fiscal stimulus or the fiscal management of the economic scenario of our country, to we have to have a very good information about this FRBM Act of 2023. This FRBM Act of 2023 has two statements. The first is the macroeconomic framework statement, and other is the medium term fiscal policy fiscal policy strategy statement. Okay, so you have to know these two things. Next, this budget also comes with some documents which are related to the expenditure budget. It's also called the expenditure budget, means it will show you where the money goes. Receipt budget, that is from where the money comes. Okay, then we will see the expenditure profile. Then budget at a glance in detail is known as the outcome budget, you can say. And we have the memorandum explaining the provisions in the finance bill. So there are, you know about a finance bill, it comes under article 117. There are two finance bills, 117 under 117.1 and under 117.3. Okay, there are two finance bills, and this annual financial statement, this comes under article 112. Then the money bill and all, that comes under 110. So this are some of the articles which are important for your exam point of view. Then key features of the budget is also present, and outcomes, the outcome monitoring framework. These are some of the things which the finance minister presents along with her budget speech. Okay, so you have to go through them, but not this all are not important for your exam. At least you should know about the annual financial statement and the budget at a glance, or you can say the outcome budget in details. Okay, because outcome budget will tell you about where the in the which particular specific ministry or which department of that ministry, under which particular program the budget has been allocated, or the particular, if there is any program running, is it continued, if the fund is there, that means that particular program will be continuing. If there is no fund, that means it can also be stopped. So this is the difference. So this is the full budget actually. In the interim budget, we saw that the earlier budget which were presented last year in 2023-24, there are many schemes which had to be continued and some were stopped. So accordingly, but the main difference is that in the full budget, in the interim budget, you cannot declare new policies, or you cannot like change the tax slabs and all. So, but in the full budget, it can be done. Okay, so we will go through it now one by one. So you see, the budget comes with this particular tag: roadmap for pursuit of Viksit Bharat. So this in this particular budget, it was stated that there are four main castes where the main focus is on this budget mainly focus on these four main castes. So first we have the annadata or the farmers, then we have the garib, then we have the mahilaye, womenhood, and the yuva or the youth. Now the theme of the budget can be also seen here, that it was focused on employment generation, it was focused on skilling the youth, it was focused on MSME sector and for the middle class. Now let's see one by one priorities for Viksit Bharat. First of all, if you talk about the agriculture sector, okay, since the theme is based on, you can see here, I already told you the main themes are related to farmers, annadata, garib, mahilai, and the youth. So first of all, they have given about the agriculture sector. So productivity and resilience in agriculture. You can see this, they have made it this way. Beautiful graphics have been used this time. So transforming agriculture research. Okay, so comprehensive review of the agricultural research set up to bring focus on raising productivity and developing climate resilient varieties. That means this time in the budget it was stated that there would be more focus on agricultural research and more climate resilient varieties of crops which are tolerant to pest attacks and climate changes. They would be introduced. Next, in the agriculture sector we have the national cooperation policy. So in this particular policy, I mean, why it is bought? See, first system it is bought because the government wants to systematically and orderly develop the all-round focus on the all-round development of the cooperative sectors. Okay, so a new policy is there, you can note it down. So you can note this also in agriculture. Now research and development, more funding has come in the R&D sector for developing climate resilient varieties. From the agriculture sector point of view, if you talk about Atmanirbharta, now we have seen that oil seeds such as mustard, groundnut, sesame, then soybean and sunflower has also enhanced the I mean edible oil productivity in our country. So this is also important, you have to note it down. If you talk about the vegetable production and the supply chain, so the budget is focused on promotion of the FPOs, okay, farmer producer organizations. Then we have the cooperatives and startups for vegetable supply chains for collection, storage and marketing. So the supply chain has also been addressed, okay. And the last is the I mean the agriculture sector, release of new varieties. As I already told you, research and development was going on and will continue for developing new or climate resilient varieties. So at present 109 new HYVs, that is high yielding varieties and climate resilient varieties of 32 field and horticulture crops will be released for cultivation by farmers. Okay, so this is an important step to address the climate change. So if you talk about the climate change and how this climate change will impact, we see that in the particular due to this climate change, the productivity of the crops are being impacted, and as per that, so those varieties of crops which are being impacted, they have been addressed successfully through introduction of high yielding varieties and climate resilient varieties of crops, okay, especially horticulture crops. Now this was all about agriculture. Next, if you talk about I mean 3 more things here, it talks about natural farming. So natural farming, it said that 1 crore farmers across the country will be initiated into natural farming, supported by certification and branding in the next 2 years. Means in the next 2 years there will be more focus on natural farming, and it's expected that 1 crore farmers across the country will be initiated into natural farming, and they will be certified and branded, okay. Then they have also stated that 10,000 need-based bio-input resource centers will be established across the country. So this is also an important I mean you can say a point. If you are going to write about sustainable development, you can write it in the recent budget. We have seen that 1 crore farmers would be initiated into natural farming, and they would be certified and branded in the next 2 years, and moreover 10,000 new would be established across the country for educating the farmers as well as for supporting them in adopting natural farming, okay. Next, if you talk about the shrimp production and export, so if you talk about the shrimp production and export, be facilitated through the NABARD. And talking about the digital public infrastructure, it is said that DPI for coverage of farmers and their lands will be done in the next 3 years. That means, what is DPI? Digital public infrastructure. That means whatever whatever land is being surveyed, digital survey takes place. Okay, so this would be mapped, and the farmers as well as the government can also keep an eye or monitor the activities or the progress of those farmlands and their about the farmers progress in production and agricultural activity. So a portal will be maintained under the DPI, and for that this scheme has been taken up, okay, in the agriculture sector. Now there will be digital crop survey in 400 districts across our country. This is also a step, you can say. See, in the next 3 years, this is 2024, so between 2024 to 27 there will be a survey in 400 districts across India. Why? Because they would be surveyed for you can say they will be surveyed for like helping them, and also it will help the government as well to monitor their progress. If they are like going through any problem issues in the field, it may be related to land, it may be related to pre-harvest or post-harvest or during harvest, some issues might be there, okay, or educating them into getting into natural farming and all. So all these things will come into consideration. Moreover, issuance of Jan Samarth based Kisan credit cards would be, so Jan Samarth, issuance of Jan Samarth based Kisan credit cards will also be dispatched this time under the DPI. So Jan Samarth cards, you can say these are like Kisan credit cards. They are based on the DPI. So this Jan Samarth cards will be a smarter version of the Kisan credit cards. Okay, this was all about agriculture. Next, talking about the employment and the skilling of the youth. So Prime Minister's package, recently 3 schemes for employment link incentive has been announced today. As you can see here, scheme 1 is about the first timers. That means those who are first timers, those who are new to the field. So 1 month wage will be given to the new entrants, okay, in all the formal sectors in 3 installments up to 15,000. So it is expected to benefit around 210 lakh youths. That means 1 month wage will be given to all those new youth who take part in the formal sectors, and this amount of 15,000, okay, this will be given up to maximum 15,000, and the money will be given in 3 installments. Suppose if a new first timer, like suppose person A gets enrolled into the formal sector, so if he is getting a salary of, he may get a salary up to 40,000 or 50,000, but for a maximum of 15,000, the government will like give a one-time benefit to them, but this won't be all together. This will be done in 3 separate installments. Okay, so this is given, so as you can say to you can say this is an employment linked incentive scheme. Okay, now for job creation in manufacturing, suppose if you see, since there are 3 schemes, first schemes we have seen for the first timers who are new to the field, for those who are in the manufacturing sector and they are involved in creating jobs. So obviously they will be linked to the first time employees. So these people, this the first those who are job creators in manufacturing, they would be linked to the first time employees, and the incentives will be given to both the employees and the employer for EPFO contributions in the specific skills for the first 4 years. That means those who are involved in the job creation as well as those who are employer, they will also get, you can say they will also get EPFO contributions, they will also get incentives for the EPFO contributions, and it is expected to benefit around 30 lakh youths. And if you see under the scheme C, that will be support to the employers. Okay, so government will reimburse EPFO contributions of employers up to 3,000 per month for 2 years for all new hires. Means those who are hiring new trained employees, and those employers who are hiring new employees, okay, those employers will be given a reimbursement up to rupees 3 per month for 2 years. And this way you can see that more and more people will employ more and more new candidates. So as per that, it's expected that it would, if since this is an incentive scheme, employment linked incentive scheme, so these employers will hire more and more, because they would get reimbursement in the EPFO contributions. So accordingly, since they will hire more, it is expected to generate around 50 lakh jobs throughout the country. Okay, so this is about the employment and employment part. Now if you talk about the skill part, this is the fourth scheme of the PM's package. Okay, this is the fourth scheme of the PM's package. The first three were related to employment and the fourth is related to the skilling program. Now see, skilling program, here what is going to happen, that 20 lakh youth will be skilled over 5-year period. Now why this skilling program is important? Because more and more people are getting into the job, you can say, on the technical side, but they are not skilled. So due to the lack of skill or skill development, they are not like proving their maximum efficiency, or they are not able to perform well. So that is why for their training for skill development, the government is targeted 20 lakh youth, and this will be done over 5-year period. 1,000 industrial training institutes will be upgraded in the hub and spoke arrangements, or you can say hub and spoke model of the PPP, and accordingly 1,000 industrial training institute, that is ITIs, will be established. Okay, and next you can see course content and design aligned as per the skill needs of the industry. In whichever industry that youth is related to, the course will be like directed towards meeting the needs of that particular industry. Okay, so for this you can see here that what is government doing here? It is facilitating higher participation of women in the workforce through setting up of the working women hostels in collaborating with the industry and establishing crèches as well. So see, the government is doing a very good thing, because if you see the yesterday I discussed about the periodic labor force survey PLFS data of 2023. You can see that the number of you can see that there is a very less participation of women in the workforce of our country. So as to encourage participation of more women in the workforce of our country, the government is talking of setting up women hostels in collaboration with a particular industry which is employing the women, and they will also be establishing crèche facilities so that they can keep their babies and they can visit them after every like 3-4 hours. They can watch their babies. The crèche facilities will be available. Then since most of the women have to, like, see, the main issue of this low participation of women in the workforce is because of the family issues, and one of them is the they have the babies, right? So they cannot leave their babies and come to work. So that is why government is providing crèche facilities in the industry itself, such that they can keep their babies in the crèche and they can work, and also they can sometimes after every like 4 hours, they can 4 to 5 hours, they can watch their babies and they can feed them. Breastfeeding can be done, and after that they can again go to their work. Okay, so this is within the industry itself, so it won't be much time consuming, or like you can say it will be very easy for the women, so they can without any like headaches. Okay, next, up to 7.5 lakh with a guarantee from the government promoted fund would be given. It is expected to help. So see, this was about the women and increasing their participation rate in the workforce. If you talk about the entrepreneurs, you can say those who are newly like they have completed their studies, now find a job, or they want they want like skill development, they want some training. Government has given loans up to 7.5 lakh. Okay, and it's expected 25,000 benefit around 25,000 students. So see, again, government has given financial support for loans up to rupees 10 lakh for higher education in domestic institutions. Remember, this is for domestic, not for foreign institutions. Okay, so suppose if someone has qualified for like a they want to pursue their higher education in a good institute, and they have to pay a very big amount sometimes. Okay, because higher education in that cost is very high. So for meeting the cost, suppose government is that is why government is giving the financial support up to for loans up to 10 lakhs. That means if you take a loan of 10 lakh or below, you will get a financial support from the government. Okay, and direct e-vouchers of rupees 1 lakh to every students per year will be given in the form of, you can say, in the form of this support. Okay, and annual interest subvention will be of 3%. So that is very good thing that the government is telling like through this particular budget, the government has showed that if someone wants to pursue higher education in domestic institutions, they can take loans up to 10 lakh, and for that the government is providing direct e-vouchers of rupees 1 lakh to every students every year. And and out of this total 1 lakh students, okay, so 1 lakh students will, sorry, this is not 1 lakh rupees, this is 1 lakh students. That means 10 lakh rupees will be given as education loan for higher education in domestic institutions for 1 lakh students. And in this, if you see the loan amount of 10 lakh, among this, in this amount, 3% of the annual interest subvention. That means you have to pay the interest, right? So that interest, out of the total interest, government will pay 3% of the annual interest on behalf of you. Okay. Next, if you talk about the human resource and development, human resource development and social justice. So see, government has introduced a new plan, or you can say new scheme, Purvodaya Vikas Bhi Virasat Bhi. So plan for endowment rich states in the eastern part covering Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh for generation of income opportunities to attain Viksit Bharat. So what is going to happen under this particular scheme, Purvodaya scheme? Amritsar Kolkata industrial corridor will be opened with a you can say industrial node at Gaya. Okay, that means from Kolkata to Amritsar in Punjab, there will be a you can say industrial corridor, and there will be a node, industrial node, you can say, in Gaya. Okay, so this is a very good thing, because this will go through West Bengal to Bihar, then to, you can say, Uttar Pradesh, then some part of Haryana, and then it will go to Punjab, right? Now, allocation of more than 3 lakh crores for schemes benefiting women and girls. For women and girls, this time in the budget, 3 lakh crores have been given. And you can see here, there are some schemes like Pradhan Mantri Janjatiya Unnata Gram Abhiyan. Okay, this Janjatiya, this is related to scheduled tribes. So improving the socio-economic conditions of the tribal communities, covering 63,000 villages, benefiting 5 crore tribal peoples. Okay, so this is Unnata Gram Abhiyan. So this, under this particular Abhiyan, what is going to happen? The government is providing some you can say some monetary help to improve the socio-economic conditions of the tribal communities who are living in around 63,000 villages across the country. And their total amount of people who are living in the 63,000 villages is like, it's estimated that around 5 crore tribal people will get benefit from this particulars. Like we have this Samagra Gram Unnayan Abhiyan. Okay, so this is Samagra Gram Unnayan Abhiyan is there, but this is related to the tribal populations or tribal communities, because this is not Samagra Gram Unnayan Abhiyan, this is Pradhan Mantri Janjatiya Gram Unnat Gram Abhiyan. Okay. Next, if you talk about the Indian Post Banks, so more than 100 branches of Indian Post Payment Bank (IPPB), this will be set up in the northeastern region. This is a news for us. Okay, so note it down. Next, if you see about the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, see Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act. So financial support of 15,000 crores will be arranged in financial year 24-25. Now under this particular Reorganization Act, actually when the Reorganization Act came into being, these things had to be fulfilled, okay, but they were left. So this has been covered this time. So the financial, it has been declared that a financial assistance of 15,000 crore will be arranged in this particular financial year, and the Polavaram irrigation project, which was in Andhra Pradesh, will be completed, okay, in this particular financial year. Moreover, essential infrastructure such as water, power, railways, roads in Koparthi node of Visakhapatnam Chennai industrial corridor and Orkal node of Hyderabad Bangalore industrial corridor will also be completed within this particular financial year. Next, if we talk about the manufacturing and services sector, you can see here that there will be credit guarantee scheme for MSMEs, which is already going on. You know about in the manufacturing sector we have the credit guarantee incentive scheme. So this is directed for improving the MSME sector. Next, new model assessment will be done for MSME credit. Mudra loans will be continued, and this time the Mudra loans, the upper limit of the Mudra loans have been increased from 10 lakh to 20 lakh under the Tarun category. So under the Mudra loan there are three categories. Okay, we have the Sishu category, we have the Kishore category, okay, and the Tarun category. There are three categories: Kishore and Tarun. So in the particular this category Tarun, earlier the loans which could be availed was 10 lakh maximum. So this has now increased to 20 lakh. Okay, so I hope you understood. Next you see enhanced scope for mandatory onboarding in TREDS. Okay, this is a online portal, you can visit this. TREDS manufacturing, and it's related to manufacturing service sector. So this scope for TREDS, that means more services will be brought under the particular platform. Next, credit support to MSME during stress period. So credit support will be provided to the MSMEs during the stress period, and MSME units will be set up for food irradiation quality and safety testing. This is important because, as you know, there are some certain allegations on India that we are not providing some, or we are using some substances which are like carcinogenic. So there are reports from Singapore, some other countries, European countries, and they were like accusing India of using carcinogenic compounds. So MSME units will be set up. Some units, specialized units, will be set up for testing the food irradiation quality and safety testing, etc. will be done. Next, talking about the manufacturing sector, you can see here 12 industrial sectors, 12 parks will be set up under the National Industrial Corridor Development Program. So this is important. Rental housing with dormitory type accommodation for the industrial workers in PPP mode will be done with the help of VGF. That is, viability gap funding will be provided in the PPP mode to all those rental housings who provide dormitory accommodation for industrial workers. Remember, that is not for all the people. That means, suppose if you have built a house, okay, and it has some dormitories, and you are providing rental housing for this particular industrial workers. So if you have such an intention, then that the government will assist you that your infrastructure will be completed with the help of VGF funding, that is viability gap funding, and it will be done under the PPP mode. Next, talking about the critical minerals mission. So critical minerals mission will be continued for domestic production, recycling and overseas acquisition as well. Next, strengthening of the tribunal and appellate tribunals to speed up the insolvency resolutions, and additional tribunals to be established. So to see, there are many things which doesn't go to the district court or high court or supreme court. Okay, it has to be resolved by tribunals and appellate tribunals. So government is thinking that whatever issues are related in the manufacturing sector, they can be addressed successfully in the tribunals and the appellate tribunals, and for that more and more appellate and tribunals and appellate tribunals will be set up to resolve these insolvency cases. Okay, now you can see here PM's fifth package. We have already seen the 4 packages which are related to job employment and all. So you can say this is the 5th scheme under that, which is providing internships opportunities. Okay, so scheme for providing internship opportunities in 500 top companies to 1 crore youth in 5 years. That means internship will be provided. See, internship is a way of, also you can say internship is also a way through which you can upgrade your skills. So that is also important for skill development. Okay, so because if you want to get hired in a very good company, you have to you have to take the skill, you have to enroll yourself under a particular skill development program which is recognized by the government, as well as those programs which enhance your skills. Okay, so it can be also from a private institute, doesn't matter. Plus you have other options, like you can go for internship opportunities. That is also a way of enhancing your skills. So accordingly, government is has considered like providing internship opportunities to 1 crore youth. Okay, this is a very huge number. 1 crore youth will be provided internship opportunities, and in the top 500 companies of India. And for that, government is has considered an allowance of 5,000 rupees per month, along with one-time assistance of 6,000 through the CSR funds. Okay, that means what government is doing, that suppose if you are going for an internship, if you are selected in a particular company, IBM, if you have got internship under IBM, then government will give you a one-time funding of 6,000 rupees initially under the CSR mode. That is, you know, the companies which are registered under the Companies Act of 2013, have a mandated section 135. Okay, that is, they have a section, there is a provision, or there is a section 135 of the Companies Act 2013 which talks about the corporate social responsibilities. That means whatever the company is earning, they have to spend certain amount of money. As per this section, they have to spend a certain amount of money in some sectors. Social workers, it may be social work, it may be environmental. Okay, so it can be like educating. So now company is considering this window as well for providing a one-time assistance. So companies, if they want, they can spend their CSR contributions, or the money which they put in the CSR fund. That fund will be used by the government, and from that, those, you can say, 1 crore youth in the next 5 years will be provided one-time assistance initially, and after that, you can say, every month they will be given a allowance of ₹5,000. Okay, so this is a very good step by the government here. So next, if you talk about the urban development, in the urban development scenario, you can see there are some things like stamp duty, street markets, transit oriented development, water management. Okay, in the stamp duty sector, government has encouraged states to lower the stamp duty for properties purchased by women. So this is an important point. If you say women empowerment, you can write this point, that in the recent budget, the government has encouraged the states to lower their stamp duty for those properties which are specifically purchased by women. So if a woman wants to purchase a property, she has to like get for, you know, like registering property, she has to give the stamp duty. Okay, so for a particular legal document, she has to provide the stamp duty. So this stamp duty comes under the state list. So what the central government has, through the budget, they have appealed the states to lower the stamp duty for those properties or the documents of the properties which are related to women. Okay, if the property is purchased by women, then kindly you have to lower the stamp duty. This is an appeal by the central government for urban development. Okay, anyways, street market. In case of street market, envisioning a scheme to develop 100 weekly huts or street food hubs in certain selected cities. So in certain selected cities, they have not revealed us cities name yet, but you see here hundreds weekly huts will be constructed in like selected cities. Okay, next, for transit oriented development, 14 large cities whose population is above 30 lakhs, they would be provided transit oriented development. And for water management, in the urban sector, if you see, they have stated about promoting water supply, sewage treatment and solid waste management projects and services for 100 large cities through bankable projects. Okay, if you talk about the housing needs, we have the Prime Minister's Awas Yojana Urban 2.0. Since we are talking about the urban component, we are not talking about the rural component here. Okay, since we are dealing with the urban development, so this is PMAY, Prime Minister's Awas Yojana Urban. You can say the version is 2.0. What will happen here? See, 1 crore urban poor and middle class families will be addressed with an investment of ₹10 lakh crore. Okay, so the government is considering to make more and more houses in the urban areas, and it is expected to help 1 crore urban poor and middle class families who are living in the urban areas like the big cities, metro cities. They would be given they will be provided housing, and for that government has allocated 10 lakh crore for this. Enabling policies and regulations for efficient and transparent rental housing markets with enhanced availability will also be placed. Okay, so just remember this thing, PMAY Urban 2.0. The target is 1 crore urban poor and middle class families, and for that government has set a investment, or you can say the budget of 10 lakh crore rupees. Next, talking about the energy security. So this is important because climate change and all, you can use this energy security. So government is considering this time the focus is on the nuclear energy. Okay, so government is giving focus on the nuclear energy. Now government has thought of it was previously already, it was it's well known fact that in the nuclear energy the small reactors are more feasible, because they may have productivity can may be less, but efficiency is very good for small reactors. So government is considering setting up the Bharat small reactors. So R&D of Bharat small modular reactors and new technologies for nuclear era will also be done. That means Bharat small reactors will be set up, nuclear reactors will be set up, and modular reactors, I mean the nuclear technologies related to modular reactors etc. will also be carried out. Okay. Next we have the pump storage facility policy. So for pump storage policy, you can see for electricity storage and facilitation of smooth integration of the growing share of renewable energy, we have the pump storage policy. So the pump storage policy is directed towards storing. Okay, whatever nuclear energy we are producing, the storing is also important. So there will be pump storage policy will be carried out for this nuclear energy, storing the nuclear energy. Next, AUSC thermal power plants. So a joint venture has been set up between NTPC and BHEL. So that is, you know about NTPC, right? So these are you can say PSUs which are related to thermal power generation. Okay, so this two big giants, you can say NTPC and BHEL, they have signed a MOU for a joint venture for setting up a 800 megawatt commercial plant recently. Next, if you talk about the energy audit, so in our Assam budget also, it was this time it was out that the government buildings and the educational institutes, especially government buildings, especially those in the district administration and this such kind of buildings, they would be first in line for energy audit. Okay, so energy auditing will be done. So financial support will be given to the micro and small industries so that they can carry out their audit. Okay, so why is this audit done? Audit is done just to find out how much money is being you can say how much money is being given for those infrastructure projects which are related to non-renewable energy sources. Okay, so this will help the industry, or you can say the micro and the small industries, to estimate how much money they are spending and what would be the alternative if they use renewable energy instead of non-renewable energy. Okay, so if they are using renewable energy, suppose they are spending rupees 100 suppose, and if they are using non-renewable energy, they are spending like 200 rupees. Then by auditing all the cost and expenditures and everything, they would find that in the next 5 years, every unit of electricity they would, like you can say, for every unit of, or for every, you can say, or for every of consumption, they are like gaining 100 rupees. So that audit helps them to estimate that how much money they should be investing, or why they should go towards renewable energy. Okay, so this will help more and more industries to adopt cleaner forms of energy. So that is why energy auditing is done, and it will also facilitate investment grade energy audit in 60 clusters, and which would be expanded to 100 clusters in future. Next, if you talk about the green energy sector, we have the Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Okay, so what is happening here? 1 crore households will obtain free electricity. Remember, 1 crore households will be getting free electricity, and like you can say up to 300 units per month they will get free electricity. So free electricity, 1 crore house, you can see that total number of households would be getting free electricity is 1 crore, and this free unit, you have to remember that they will be getting free electricity up to 300 units every month. Okay, not more than if their like consumption is more than 300 units, then they have to pay for unit of energy used. And till now, if you see under the Prime Minister's Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, around 1.28 crore applications have been given, submitted, and among them 14 lakh applications have been approved so far. That means under the PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, government will provide you these panels, solar panels, at subsidized rate along with all the necessary infrastructure. And by that, what you have to do is that this will be connected with the grid as well. So whatever being what is required will be stored in the battery. This you can use it during your night time. Okay, or suppose in the there may be some other connection, conventional electricity may come. Suppose if you want to switch to this energy, then you can stop this and you can use this in the night. Okay, so the and moreover the access will be given to the grid. Okay, that is the GRID, grid. So this extra generation of energy will be given to the grid. So this way it is said that up to 300 units of energy can be used by the household consumers, and for this entire setup around 1.28 crore people had registered, and among them 14 lakh people have so far got this connections, okay, or this installations and all. So they are availing this PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Next, you see, for the infrastructure sector, we have provisions for this is 11 lakh. You can say see out of the total budget. So you can say out of the total GDP, we can say in this particular budget, almost 3.4% of the GDP has been given in the infrastructure sector. So this is a very huge allocation of the GDP. So 1.5 lakh crore has been given to the states as long-term free interest-free loans to support resource allocation. Okay, so among this, I mean, you can say like 11 lakh crore. Out of this, 1.5 lakh crore has been given to the states as long-term interest-free loans. Now, what is long-term interest-free loans? That means, suppose Assam has taken a loan from the central government, suppose of 15, you can say 50 lakhs. Okay, suppose, just assume 50 lakhs or 1 crore. So maybe it's very less. Actually, suppose you can assume 20 crores. Okay, the Assam government has taken a loan of 20 crores. So this 20 crores can be given in a period of, like, you can say 15 to 20 years. Okay, slowly you can give the main amount. Okay, so you don't have to pay the interest to the central government. You just have to pay the base amount whichever you had taken from this loan. Okay, so 20 crores can be easily, like, monthly you can give some amount, or you can give altogether when you have more money. So this way this helps in resource allocation of the state. Suppose some states are funding financial crunch in their GSDP, they can take this to develop their infrastructure. Okay, next, see, you can see here we have the Prime Minister's Gram Sadak Yojana. The fourth phase will be launched this time, and this time the target is to provide you can say all-weather connectivity to 25,000 rural habitations. Okay, so the third phase of the Prime Minister's Gram Sadak Yojana was successfully over this time in the this current financial, I mean, by 31st March 2024, and the fourth phase will be launched here, and again the works will start. So this time the target is to provide 25,000 rural all-weather connectivity. Okay, next, for irrigation and flood mitigation, this is important for Assam point of view, because if you see, this time assistance for flood management has been provided for different projects which are undergoing in Assam in this particular budget. Okay, and rest others you can see, like we have like the COSI, intrastate link, and 20 ongoing new schemes, and for that government is 7,500 crores this time for irrigation. Okay, this is for irrigation. So when you are talking about interlinking of rivers, this is actually directed towards irrigation as well as flood mitigation. Okay, flood is also there, because what is this water will be diverted from suppose this area, this state A has more or excess water which is bringing floods here. So what is government trying to do? They are making the, suppose this is the Kosi river, you know about Kosi river, right? So Kosi river is causing floods. So this excess water from the Kosi river and will be transferred from A to B, suppose. Then what will happen? The extra water which comes during the monsoon season, this will be diverted towards a state, suppose Telangana, which is receiving less water, or Maharashtra. Okay, so this is how this will also be helpful in irrigation in this particular area where there is less water. Okay, next, assistance will also be provided for reconstruction and rehabilitation in Himachal Pradesh. You know, like in Himachal Pradesh there were so many disasters in the past few years, so the reconstruction and rehabilitation is also still going on. So assistance will be provided to Himachal Pradesh as well. Moreover, in the flood management, assistance for flood management, we have talked about Assam. There are also states like Sikkim and Uttarakhand which will also be receiving assistance for flood management. Okay. Next, talking about infrastructure, we have tourism infrastructure. If you see here, this was about, see, infrastructure is a big topic. Okay, so in the infrastructure we talked about, you can say the core infrastructure. This is the road infrastructure. This is the total overall amount allocated for infrastructure. This is the irrigation and mitigation related infrastructure. Next, we are talking about the tourism infrastructure. Okay, so what is happening? See, so under the Kashi Vishwanath temple corridor, there are two more corridors which will be built on this model. They are Vishnupat Temple Corridor and Mahabodhi Temple Corridor. Okay, so in line with the Kashi Vishwanath Temple Corridor, these two new corridors have been declared today, that Vishnupat Temple Corridor and Mahabodhi Temple Corridor will be created. Comprehensive development initiative will be carried out for Rajgir, and this will be undertaken with religious significance, especially for Hindus, Buddhists and Jains. Okay, Rajgir, you know, in Bihar. Nalanda was also developed recently. So next comes Nalanda. Development of Nalanda is a tourist center, besides reviving the Nalanda University to its glorious stature. Okay, Nalanda University, as you know, has been revived. The work is still going on. So the budget has given emphasis on the tourism development around Nalanda this time. Now, assistance to development of Odisha's scenic beauty. In case of Odisha, if you see, government is emphasized on creating like temples, monuments, promoting craftsmanship, developing the wildlife sanctuaries and landscapes, natural landscapes, and cleaning the pristine beaches, etc. Okay, so to make it an ultimate tourism destination. So this was related to infrastructure related tourism. Now let's talk about the innovation, research and development. In case of innovation, research and development, you can see here a new fund. As you already know, this was in news. Anusandhan National Research Fund was created. Okay, Anusandhan National Research Fund is created. Why? Because in this particular fund, all those sectors which are contributing to this fund, they will also be exempted from the income tax under section 80cc as well as 80ccd, and this particular fund will be used for developing basic research and prototypes. Okay, so as you can see here, private sector driven research and innovation at the commercial scale will be taken with a financial pool of 1 lakh crore. So this particular fund, you can say, this is it can be up to the amount of 1 lakh crores. You can say this way. Okay, so moreover, for promoting space economy, a venture capital fund of 1000 crore will be set up. So in case of space economy, to develop the space sector, I mean commercial space economy, so a new venture capital fund which is VCF will be created with rupees 1000 crore as the corpus or the minimum balance, you can say. Okay, so this will help in promoting, or you can say in the development of the future space economy. Okay, so these are research and development related, innovation, research, development. Next we see the next generation reforms which are related to rural and urban land related actions. So what is done? See, unique land parcel identification number, you know this is ULPIN number. So this along with Bhu Aadhaar will be set up for all the lands. This will help you can say for the surveying and etc. these things. Okay, next, survey of map subdivisions as per the current ownership will be done. So you know there is already a scheme which is undergoing, okay, which is known as Swamitva scheme. Swamitva, MITVA, Swamitva scheme, which is going on for this land related survey and all. Okay, then linkages will be done to the farmers registries records. Then land records in urban areas. If you talk about the rural areas and urban areas, this is for both. Okay, combined. So land records in urban areas will be digitized with GIS mapping. Now digitization of the cadastral maps, that means those maps or those land areas which have been surveyed. Okay, the maps which are created are known as cadastral maps. So surveyed land areas result in the cadastral maps. So these maps will now be digitized. Okay, next, establishment of land registry will also be done. Now see here, we have this new initiatives like you can say steps which are being taken here. Taxonomy for climate finance. So enhancing the availability of capital for climate adaptation and mitigation related investments. FDI and overseas investments will be promoted this time. NPS Vatsalya, this is an important scheme, you can note it down. It is being carried out which is actually directed towards you can say this is a plan for contribution of parents and guardians for minors. Okay, so under the NPS Vatsalya, the parents and guardians will contribute towards a particular fund will be created obviously under NPS Vatsalya, and this fund will use the money for like helping the minors. Okay, next, improvement of data governance, collecting, processing and management of data and statistics etc. will be done. For the NPS point of view, if you see the new pension scheme, There's talking about the NPS. That NPS is a solution that addresses the relevant issues, protects the common citizens, and maintains fiscal prudence, will etc. Okay, so there's an ongoing debate between the old pension scheme OPS and the NPS, but we are not going to the depth of this. The government has tried to like address these issues, but some sectors are still in the OPS and some has adopted the NPS system. Okay. Next, if you talk about the robust economic foundations, you can see this is the graph of the current account deficit, CAD. Okay, if you see in the last financial year, the current account deficit was at around -2, and this has now risen around -0.5. Okay, between -1 and -0.5. So you can say this is a positive approach. Next, if you see about the growth rate, India's growth rate, that is in terms of real GDP, it is expected to like surpass, or you can say it will be around 8 to 9% in the financial 2024-25, and at present, if you see in the revised estimates in 2022-23, it was around at this mark. So this has slowly risen. If you can see here in terms of percentage, you can say it's around like 7%. Okay, 7 point something. So this is now risen in the provisional estimates. As per the provisional estimates of 2023-24, it would be at around 8.2%. Okay. Now, if you talk about the PMI index here, you can see this is the production manufacturers incentive index. Okay, so PMI index you can see here. This is not important for your exam. Just go through the important ones. This is CAD is important, growth rate, real GDP is important. Then if you talk about the NPS, this is important, gross NPS of the like scheduled commercial banks. If you see the NPS have like decreased, okay, then this is also a good thing, because the more the NPS, the banks are in loss, and there is a high chance that a bank would default sometimes. So since the NPS of the scheduled commercial banks are like going down, this is a positive sign for our economy. Now if you talk about the fiscal deficit as percentage of the GDP, in the financial year the fiscal deficit was at around 6.4%. So we already know, I think you know that as per the we have a particular act which is known as the FRBM Act of 2023. As per that, the fiscal deficit has to be at around 3%. Okay, minus 4 plus minus 2%. This is the you can say cap. You can say the limit, which means that your fiscal deficit has to be between 2%, okay, to 6%. That means 4 minus 2 is 2, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So this is the band or limit, you can say. So you see here that last year, in the last financial year 2023-24, the fiscal deficit, already I discussed this yesterday in our economic survey, that the fiscal deficit was at around more than 6%, that is at 6.4. But this time you see the fiscal deficit has safely come under the under this particular allowed band. Okay, that is it's less than 6%. Slowly it will come at around 5%, 4%, but you have to remember that it should be also more than 2, because the fiscal deficit also generates demand. If the fiscal deficit is 0 completely, that means there will again be instability. So fiscal deficit should not be 0. It has to be between something positive value, but it should not also, at the same time, it should not exceed 6%. Now for taming inflation, if you see about the figures of inflation here in 2023, post 2023, the inflation stands at 5.4% of the GDP. Okay. Next, the tax proposals. You can see here about the tax proposal, simplification in taxes. Now the government has reviewed the Income Tax Act of 1961, simplified the charities in the TDS, term deposit schemes. Then litigations and appeals have been considered depending the tax base. Now specific sector custom duty proposals have been given. You see here, like in the particular field of cancer medications, 3 cancer medicines have been like fully exempted from custom duties. So what will happen if the the custom duties are minimized, fully exempted? That means whatever cancer medications are being brought from outside, if they are exempted from custom duty, that means if the medicine costed 50 rupees, due to the custom duty it comes to India and costs 150 rupees. Since government has like told that there's 100 extra rupees were the custom duties, now government has like you can say completely exempted this particular medicine. So now it will cost 50 rupees only in India also. Okay, so the medicines will now become affordable. The prices of the medicines will come down. Now you can see here BCD, that is that basic custom duty has been reduced to 15% on mobile phones and mobile PCB, that is printed circuit board assemblies and chargers, etc. So that will benefit the mobile industry as well. Okay, so now the cost of the mobiles which we import from outside, that will also come down. Suppose if you are ordering in from outside, okay, Apple. So if you are going for a imported phone, then the basic custom duty has been reduced to 15% now. Okay, earlier it was I think around 30%, I don't know, just check it out, 28 or 30%. This has been reduced to 15% now, maybe half. Okay, so this will definitely help in help the people to import more mobile phones or printed circuit boards and chargers, etc. This will be beneficial for the mobile industries. Now reduce custom duties on gold and silver as well. Remember, custom duty has been reduced for gold and silver. Custom duty is fixed at 6% now. It has been reduced, and for platinum it has come down to 6.4%. This will also help in domestic value additions. Then basic custom duty has also been reduced for shrimp and fish feeds. Okay, that means fish feed means those if you are having an exotic fish in your aquarium, you know, some of the fish feeds, the food which comes, they come from outside. Okay, so we have to pay custom duty for that. That is why the fish feeds become very costly. So now the basic custom duty has been reduced on the fish feed to only 5%. This will enhance competitiveness in maritime exports. Next, exempted more capital goods for manufacturing of solar cells and panels. This is very, I think this is the one of the best among this, because more the capital goods which are used for manufacturing solar cells panels in India itself under the Make in India initiative. Now people can bring more capital goods from outside, and the custom duty has been completely abolished. Okay, so definitely this will help in energy transition. This will help in making more and more solar cells and panels within India itself, and this will promote Atmanirbhar Bharat, as well as this will help in you can say like reducing the import of solar panels and cells from outside. Since we are making these things with our within our own country, more and more employment will also be increased. So since capital goods are the basic raw goods which are used for manufacturing solar panels, custom duty, if the custom duty is capital goods, then this will definitely help the solar cells and panels within the country itself. Okay, now 25 critical minerals, you can see here the custom duties for all these 25 critical minerals has also been fully exempted. This will help to boost the strategic sectors. Okay, so these two are important, I think. Why? Because these critical minerals also help useful in making the solar cells and panels. So for government is giving more emphasis on Atmanirbhar Bharat, so that we can our dependency on China and other countries, Taiwan and all, for making solar cells and panels will be reduced now. Okay, now we can make it we can bring the capital goods or the basic raw materials from outside without any custom duty. We can manufacture it here, we can provide employment to our own people, we will sell it to our own people. Okay, and we'll manufacture it within India with the help of these critical minerals as well. So this is an important developments in the custom duty. Next, about the direct tax proposals, if you talk about see, rationalizing of capital gains. Now government has given the short-term gains of financial assets to attract 20% tax rate. That means if you are if you have financial assets from where you are getting short-term gains, then you will be under the tax slab of 20%. And if you have for all the financial and non-financial assets, if you are getting a long-term gain on all the investments of financial or non-financial, now you have to pay a tax of 12.5%. So increases the limit of exemption of capital gains on financial assets of 1.25 lakh per year. Next, if you see about employment investment part here, this is a very important you can say news, that the angel tax has been abolished for all class of investors. Earlier the angel tax was now angel tax is such a tax. Suppose if I am a person who wants to purchase a share, but I don't have money or to buy the share, so there are some persons who used to help. Suppose B is helping me so he is the angel for me, right? But when he helps, he also has to pay some tax in the form of, suppose, angel tax of 5% on the amount of money he has given me. So or you can say I have to pay the amount to the government in the form of angel tax. As an investor, I have to pay this amount. So this was not feasible for me. Okay, since I want it as a help, but government is taking the tax from me. before I get the help or invest. Suppose this person is helping me with 100 rupees, so I have to give 5 rupees to the government. Suppose my share was 100 rupees. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to get again 5 rupees from someone else, because already I have given 5 rupees. That means I have balance of 95 rupees. Now I have to again borrow some from somewhere. So that is how the things go. So that is why actually this angel tax has, you can say, abolished, you can say, for all class of investors, and this is a very good news for the investors. Next, if you see, simpler tax regime to operate domestic cruise. Next, we have provide for safe harbor rates for foreign mining companies. Next, important, this is the important one. Okay, I am putting a star mark on the important news. If you see here, corporate tax on foreign companies has been reduced from 40% to 35%, and this is very important development. Why? Because those companies who wanted like Apple, Tesla, they wanted to reduce the corporate tax, so they were urging the government, and you see government has like heard them. Okay, so they can now establish their factories or their setups industries in India as well, like Apple, or you can say we have the Tesla cars manufactured in India. So corporate tax is reduced for foreign companies, so that's a very positive sign for Elon Musk as well. Next, simplifying tax regimes. So you can see here, now the tax regime has been set up in this way. That is, for those who are earning between 0 to 3 lakh annually, they don't have to pay any tax. For those people, okay, who are earning between 3 to, that is for the male employee who is earning between 3 to 7 lakh, they have to pay a tax of 5%, okay, as a direct income tax. We call it the income tax, okay, direct tax. Next, if you see, for those who are earning between 7 to 10 lakhs annually, they have to pay an income tax of 10%. For those who are earning between 10 to 12 lakhs, they have to give a income tax of 15%. For those who are earning between 12 to 15 lakhs annually, they have to give an income tax of 20%. And those who are earning above 15 lakh, they have to give an income tax of 30% on their account, and this is known as the progressive taxation. Okay, what is progressive taxation? In you might have learned that as the income increases, your tax also increases. Okay, so as your income is increasing, you can see the tax interest is also increasing. So this is progressive tax. Now, standard deductions for salaried employees has increased from 50,000 to 75,000, and deduction on family pensions for pensioners has increased from 15,000 to 25,000. Okay, these two are also important. These are standard deductions. So deductions will be more this time. That is, if you're a salaried employee, your deductions will be at around 75,000, and if you're a family pensioner, then your deductions will be at 25,000 this time. Okay. Now here you can see rupees, where the rupees comes from, and next we'll see where the rupees goes. In this particular budget, you can see from the income tax we are getting around 19%. So you can see that we are the most of the tax comes from the, rupee comes from the income tax, that is the direct taxes. Okay, among the taxes I'm talking about. Other, if you see the borrowings and other liabilities, the government borrows from other institutions, or like you can say international institutions from the RBI. So this money is at around 27%. So among the taxes, most of the money rupee comes from the income tax, remember. Okay, next, if you talk about the indirect tax, GST is the next contributor. GST is contributing around 18% of the total rupee in the form of tax. So income tax is the highest contributor to the rupee, and the GST and other indirect taxes are responsible for 18%. So together, if you see, you can see around 37% of the total tax comes from the income tax and the GSTs. Okay. Next, from the union excise duty, 5% comes. Corporation tax is the third largest. Okay, so you have to remember this three at least. So income tax is the first, you can say the highest source of income from which the rupee comes, and the second is the indirect taxes in the form of GST. Next, we have the corporate tax, which is at 17%. This is the third. Okay, third highest contributor to the budget. Next, rupee goes. So where the rupee goes, let's see here, that most of the rupee goes here in the, you can see 21%. This is the state share of taxes and duties. Okay, this also includes all the you can say GST compensation, cess, GST, that part of the tax which the state earns in the form of from the CGST. Okay, we have in the GST we have three slabs, you know, like it's called a central GST, we have the state GST, and we have the IGST, integrated GST. So in the state GST, the money goes to the central. State GST money goes to the state, goes to both the states, who are like you can say in case of inter-border transactions, IGST is applicable. Within the state, if it takes place, state GST is applicable, and central GST goes to the center. Now, what the center does, that out of the GST it earns, the total GST it earns, we already have seen about the GST. 18% of the total money has come from GST this time, and out of this 18%, 21% of this total money is shared again among the states. Okay, and if you see, so highest money of the central government goes to the share of the taxes and duties which they have to pay to the states. For the central sector schemes, where center is giving 100% of the total money for any particular project and fund, so this particular, you can say 16% of the money goes to the central sector schemes. Okay, first if you see the other schemes among them, these are the main. So first highest expenditure for the center goes to the for the share of taxes and duties to the state government. Next, second highest goes to the central sector schemes, which the government pays 100% of the total amount. And for, if you see the centrally sponsored scheme, if you see, it is 8%. Okay, this is the third highest, you can say. We have other commissions, these are not important, relevant, but you have to remember this. Okay, next for defense sector, you have 8%, remember this. Subsidies only 6%. Okay, interest payments, that is the interest which the government, central government takes from the other institutes like RBI and all, World Bank and all. So they have to pay interest, so central government also pays 19% of interest to these institutions. For the pensions, 4% of the GDP goes to the pensions. Okay, so you have to remember this. And finance commission and other transfers, you can say 9%. Next, you can see here, this is the list of major items per expenditure. So highest expenditure is in the, you can see this is important, in the defense sector. In the rail development, you can see next, second highest is the rail development, and remember the third highest goes to the agriculture and allied sectors. Next comes home affairs, education, IT, health, energy, social welfare, commerce and industry. Next, allocation to major schemes. If you see, we'll see some of the major schemes here where most of the money has been allocated. So under the MGNREGA, that is the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Act, if you see in the year 2023-24, as per the base estimate, the total allocated amount was 60,000 crore, but this has increased to 86,000 crore this year. Next, if you see for research and development, last year it was in 23-24 financial year 23-24, it was 840 crores, and this time it has increased by 400 crore at 1200 crores. For the nuclear power projects, you can see this is, so you have to remember the highest one. Okay, like remember the MGNREGA, we are giving more in the defense sector, then comes the rail sector and agriculture and allied activities. Then second, you have to remember that among the major schemes, the most of the money goes to the MGNREGA. Okay, for this, you know, like LPG, you see here in the year 2023-24, LPG subsidy you have to give the transfer, right? So for that, the most of the money in the form like 180 crore was given last year, and if you see in the year 24-25, it's estimated that 1500 crores have to be given this time. Okay, and this is a significant increase. You can see here in the solar power grids, you can see here that 4,970 crores were given last year, and it's expected this year this will rise to 10,000 crore. This is obvious because of the schemes like Prime Minister's Suryodaya Yojana or Prime Minister's Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, as we have seen earlier. Next, receipts and receipts. Here you can see there are two types of receipts: revenue receipts and capital receipts. So revenue receipts, you can say are those you can say those revenue receipt or revenue expenditure. This word you have to remember, that revenue receipts, let's talk about the expenditure first. Revenue expenditure, those expenditure which the government does from day to day. I mean, from like you can say for a kind of salary or any kind of interest payments or and capital expenditure is those expenditure which is used for like making long-term infrastructure, etc. Okay, so if you see revenue expenditure for year 2024-25 stands at 37.1 lakh crore, and for the capital expenditure in the year 2024-25 base estimate it's 15. So it we'll see the revised estimates later, but base estimates are given at present, so it is at 15 lakh crore, but this can decrease as well. Okay, like you see last year in 2023-24 the base estimates were 13.7 lakh crore, but afterwards revised estimates it came down to 12.7. Okay, same for this, it can increase. Revenue expenditure was expected to be at around 35 lakh crore, but it increased to 35.4 crore in the revised estimates. Okay, if you talk about the revenue receipts, then receipts are those which come. Okay, and I mean if you talk about receipts are those which come, and like this you can remember, like expenditure is that which goes. Okay, so this is government is earning here. That means if you see in the financial year 2023-24, in the base estimate it was expected to be 26.3%, but it increased to 27%, and this time also it will definitely increase, because this is the base estimate. Afterwards the revised estimate will come. RE means revised estimate. Okay, next is the capital receipts. If you see, government has invested money in the capital expenditure, so definitely this capital that investment will bring some returns in the form of receipts. Okay, and if you see in the last year, the base estimate for the capital receipts was estimated to be 18.7, but government did not receive, because in the revenue estimate, if you see, the capital receipts were less. The base estimate was at 18.7%, 18.7 lakh crore, but the government got capital receipts of only 17.9%. Okay, that means you can see here one thing clearly, that the government is like the expenditure of the government is increasing in revenue expenditure. Okay, and if you see the returns is also increasing in the revenue receipts. But in the capital receipts, if you see here, government is you can say government is expending more on the capital infrastructure, capital investments, but in the capital receipt sector, if you see, government is at loss. Okay, like this you have to analyze the graphs. So this was all about the budget here. So I hope you got a clear insight about the entire thing. I discussed everything, key features of the budget in details. I hope you understood. If you have some queries, you can email me. I have given my email, or as well as my WhatsApp number. You can ask me about the terms and things if you don't understand. Other documents like this thing, this I have given this in the description of the video. You can just go to the Google link and download. In the Google Drive you will get all the links of the documents. You can download them and you can read this individually. So see, this is the outcome budget. Here if you see here, I'll just show you. Here you will get the, like, this is a particular ministry, right? Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Among this you will get the schemes, name of the scheme, just note it down. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Samman Yojana. Then we have the modified interest subvention, just note it down. No need to get all through this. Okay, just note the schemes. Next we have the crop insurance scheme in the form of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which is a centrally sponsored scheme. Next we have the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Okay, so sorry, this is a central, see, CS, this is, you can say this is a central sector scheme. Okay, central sector scheme is written as CSS, means 100. That means 100%, the 100% of this amount is coming from the central government, but CS means centrally sponsored scheme. Okay, so don't get confused. Centrally sponsored scheme is written as CSS, and central sector scheme is written as CS. Okay, so it sounds same, but remember, CS means central sector scheme. Okay, and CSS means centrally sponsored scheme. Okay, scheme. So I hope you understood this thing. Next you just note the names of the schemes. Next we have the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Next, if you see under agriculture, we have the like under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, there are some different components like per drop more crop. Then we have the promotion of agriculture mechanization for in situ management of crop residue. Then we have the submission on agricultural mechanization. These are submissions. Okay. Next, rain-fed area development and climate change, national project on soil health and fertility, all comes under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Next, management, we have the Krishan Noti Yojana. Okay, like this you can note down the schemes and their sub schemes. No need to go through all this data, target how much they have achieved or what is the area covered. This will be too much for you, but at least you can write the schemes and their sub schemes, and target you can write the target down. Okay, but no need to write all these other things. Okay, so that was all about it. Other one more documents I have provided you. This is the FRBM Act. This is the FRBM document. So if you're interested, you can go through it. It's not important at present. So this was all about the entire budget I have prepared for you. So hope you like the video, and kindly try to share this video with people as much as you can. This will be beneficial for everyone who are preparing for their future exams, not only for APSC mains exam but also for other exams as well, like UPSC mains or other ADRE and all this exams, government exams. This will be helpful for all the people, for SSC as well. When you talk about government schemes, or like like budget plays a very important role in laying the, you can make an idea about the government schemes, and as well as the different you can say the fiscal condition of the country. Okay, so that's it, and thank you. Have a good day.